Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال سبحانه وتعالى وأن ليس للإنسان إلا ما سعى صدق الله المولانا العظيم. All praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord, the Creator and the Caregiver. And peace and blessings be upon Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the final messenger. The human experience is a continuation of habits. So a child who's 3-year-old, he wakes up every morning, she wakes up every morning and does the same toy thing every morning. A teenager wakes up with the same type of a mind frame, basically every morning. A sports athlete wakes up every morning thinking about the same thing. I have to train, I have to run, I have to lift some weight, and I have to work out. A businessman wakes up thinking, how can I make more bucks? So from there we learn that we are basically the summary of our habits. Adat. So whatever is our adat, that's what we do over and over again. When you leave your home, I'm sure you have a habit of checking your pocket. Do I have my keys? Do I have my wallet, my phone? We all have that habit where we check. So, and you might even do it 2 times or 3 times because it's a habit. So, from there we learn the power of habits. That if we can fix our habits, and if those habits are habits of successful believers, not successful businessmen, successful believers, then that means we're basically guaranteed success because we adopted the qualities and the habits of successful believers. The hadith summarizes it in 2 words. Al-khayru adatun. Al-khayru adatun. Goodness are habits. For example, you take a child and you tell them, can you please read some Quran? And you told them nicely over a few weeks and a few months. So now they have a habit of reading Quran at night, before Isha or after Isha. So now you realize, even when you don't tell them, they go and pick up the Quran and start reading. And that is absolutely beautiful. Do you see the power of that? It's so powerful. It is as if you programmed the computer to do a certain thing. So now that computer habit, it just happens. For example, your phone rings every time according to the alarms. So the child is like an alarm. At a certain time of the day, he just goes and picks up a Quran and starts reading. And if you can nurture that habit and make sure he or she doesn't lose it, they're set for life. We wish we had the habit of reading Quran at night. We all wish we had the habit of reading the Quran, but that kid already has a habit. He's only 7, 8 years old, but that kid is already successful because he has a habit of reading the Quran at night. So we really need to see how our habits and adats are. The season changed right now, Jummah time changed, the Salah times changed a bit. So now we have to quickly see how is our schedule. From Friday night all the way back to Thursday night. How is our week? How is our weekends, our weekdays, our mornings, our middle of the day, and at the end of the day? How is our day going to continue? And one thing I want to tell you is a schedule doesn't mean a tight schedule. This is one thing that scares the nafs, because if I tell my nafs every single hour of the day I'm going to make you do something productive, then my nafs goes crazy, like, no, please, no, don't write a schedule. Don't let him write a schedule, he's going to go crazy on me. That's how your brain starts talking to itself, like, oh, don't make a schedule because you're going to go crazy, you're going to have a very hard schedule, then I'm not going to have any fun, I'm not going to have any relaxation time. No, you can have relaxation time. You can take it easy for an hour or two. But you can't take it easy for the whole winter, no. So how do you differentiate? If we leave it to our nafs, what happens is we end up wasting most of the nights. And in the winter, every night is an investment, honestly speaking. In the winter, every night is a major investment in your life. If you are a student who's trying to finish a study, a course, nighttime is if you start your night, and I don't mean 11 o'clock night, I mean like 6 o'clock night. Because the sun sets early. So if you're thinking, oh, Maulana said we should stay up all night. No, I never said that. Shaitan kicks in after a few hours, I know that. So staying up at night is not a good habit. Staying up at night is not Islamic. If you are an amazing worshipper, or you have some amazing habits that you want to acquire and you're busy with something productive, it's okay. But generally speaking, at night, we lose willpower. Studies have been done on himmat, on willpower, and they say willpower finishes by the end of the day. In the morning, you might not eat something unhealthy, but by Isha time, you're just eating anything unhealthy. If you went outside the house and for the first 3 minutes you didn't do badnazri, you didn't look at a haram thing, a woman walked by, the first 1 minute you might not look. After 20 minutes you're looking, right? You're not controlling yourself. After 6 hours standing in the mall, and you work in a mall, I'm sorry, you're not protecting your eyes after 6 hours. If you're working in a mall or in a very busy store, your eyes are probably not having any peace because you're probably looking at haram every second. Because the human willpower, it finishes after a while. If you have extreme taqwa, extreme iman, maybe you can stay away from it. But generally we are encouraged to leave the sin and walk away so it can be easier for you. There's no need to test ourselves and say, no, I'm going to stand in a haram place, I'm going to protect myself. No, you're not. You can't do it. It's not, the human willpower is very limited. So what we could do is realize what is our priorities. Muqaddam, like what's a priority right now? If you're having financial struggles, maybe you can focus on work. If your problem is people are getting into fights with you all the time, family, wife, father, mother, everybody's fighting with you, maybe look at your personality. Maybe look at your bad habits. Who doesn't have bad habits? I have many. Like, be honest, why are we hiding ourselves? And many times we think that if we admit we have bad habits, that means I'm sifar, I'm zero. No, it doesn't work like that. You can have 10 bad qualities and 50 good qualities. Be honest. For some reason we feel like, oh, I have to be 100%. No, bhai, I'm not 100%. I have weaknesses, I can work on it. So I'm sure many people praised you in your life, that you're amazing. They are right. You are amazing in some qualities. And if somebody criticized you and they were honest, they weren't just enemies. What we call haters, they weren't haters. They literally meant like, bye, you don't do that, it's not nice. So now they're not haters, they're telling you real feedback. Maybe you have anger. Many men have anger. Because we have more testosterone, so we have more anger. So let's think about that. Maybe inshallah next week or the week after we can talk about anger. I don't want to get sidetracked. Right? But realizing our strengths and also being honest with our weaknesses. And that way we can start to focus on our weaknesses. And remember, if you are focusing on your weakness, that's a good sign. When I go to the doctor, if my right knee is hurting, I'm not going to show off to the doctor and say, my left knee is amazing, it's strong. We go straight and say, no, this one is hurting. We don't say my elbow's fine, my shoulder's fine. We say, no, this one is hurting. Why? Because the whole system, the medical system, is based off of helping you. You have to mention your weaknesses. We don't go to the doctor and say, I'm doing well. No, we say the opposite. This is hurting, this is hurting, this is hurting, can you help? So that's how the spiritual system is. The deen of Allah is a repair system. It's repairing me every hour, it's repairing you every minute also. So never feel that you have to hide your weaknesses. No, you don't have to. It's not good to show off and say, no, I'm always doing this, it's no problem, I'm used to it. No, we can be humble about it, hide our sins, but always ask for help. If somebody has too much takabbur, so we can ask, like, I have takabbur sometimes. I remember when I first got my first old car, when I first graduated from Alim class, I had an old 99 Civic. But I was so proud, like, I got my old 99 Civic, I'm so proud. And then I said, man, I'm getting too proud. So I went to my teacher, my Maulana, and my Sheikh, he is older than me, so I go to him all the time. So I said, Sheikh, I think I have a problem, I'm happy now, I have a car. It's an old car, but it's making me happy. So he said, are you thanking Allah? I said, yeah, I'm very thankful. He's like, okay, then it's okay. If you're a little happy, it's okay, it's not takabbur. It's not pride, it's just you're happy, you got a car, that's good. You can be happy. So you see how I saw pride? I'm like, no, I'm too happy, I got an old car now, I'm so excited. He's like, no, just shukr karo, like if you're doing shukr, you're fine. So we need to see that. If we're always angry at home, maybe we need to look into it. Why am I angry all the time? And remember, if you're coming from a war-torn country, if your country had war, if your family had a lot of fights, if your parents had a lot of fights, that has an effect on you, right? These are called like traumas and all these things. So I'm from Afghanistan. So there's a lot of war there. So is that going to affect? Yeah, it's going to affect our minds. We have to admit that. Yes, we came from a tough place. I remember one Islamic school principal, he said my Somalian students and my Afghan students, they either go left or right. They're really amazing, they work really, really hard, or they're coming from a war-torn country, so they're also very hard to control sometimes. So he was being very honest. Like these kids, they're very good. Sometimes they become amazing, or sometimes they struggle because they had too much pain, too much trauma. So we need to respect our journey. If your family situation was bad, maybe you came out of extreme poverty. So poverty is still affecting you. You might have money in your hand, but your brain is still acting poor. Maybe you came out of a fighting family, so now even when you're calm, you're just agitated. You're tense, your body's tense, you're waiting to fight. So because you came out of a family that was just too much fight, so now you don't know how to relax. And that's what I'm talking about, habits. So let's try our best to recognize ourselves. There's a saying, whoever recognizes himself, he has recognized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What that means is you realize we're very, very weak. خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Humans are made weak. Cold affects us, winter affects us, loneliness affects us. A little bit of hunger affects us. The opposite, having too much in life, having blessings, it affects us. You're wearing new clothes, it's going to change the way you walk. You got a new job, now you're walking differently. Realize that. You have extra bucks in your pocket, you're walking differently. I admit it. You got married recently, you're walking differently. It's going to affect you. So when we realize how humble we are, how weak we are, we can try to see how beautifully Allah is always helping us. Rabbul Alameen. When we go to sajda, we go to ruku, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Ala. We're reminding ourselves our Lord is our caregiver. He's helping us. He's fixing us. So let's use this winter blessed months to make ourselves better. Let's give ourselves more structure. If you have to spend more time on your spirituality, fix your salat habits. Let's fix our salat habits. If Fajr we're always missing, or Isha we're missing, or Asr we're always missing, let's try to fix that, inshallah. Think about it. Fix our schedules. Likewise, if our health is not doing well, find a way to find something that you can do. Even if it's walking, go for a walk. You don't need to go to a gym right away, $50 a month. Just go for a walk. 10 minutes after Isha every day. Don't worry about the winter, just get ready and just go for 10 minutes walk. You'll see how your life changes and it gives you more calmness. So likewise, different aspects of our life, inshallah, we should fix it. And once we have a very, a calm schedule, you don't have to make a new decision. Every Monday you're doing this. Every Tuesday you're praying extra Quran. Every Wednesday you're going for a walk. Every Thursday you're spending time with family. You're calling your grandma. You're calling your grandfather, your uncle back home. You're calling all these people. So now you have a schedule. Everything is getting done. You're not overwhelmed. So may Allah give us tawfiq to give structure to our life, and may Allah make our lives such that when we pass away we can be proud of it, and may Allah make it easy for us to spend our time properly.